Hello, everybody. How are you? Hi, honey. How are you? What are you doing down there?
I'm gonna be making some noise while you're making.
You're going to be making some noise while I'm making some noise. I like that. Hello, everybody. How's it going? Let me flip this so I can see your hellos. Say hello to me in the comment section when you jump on. I want to say hello. Okay, so my husband's going to be screaming in the other room. Are you leading the club call?
I'm leading the HCO call, then a club call.
Oh, you're leading a leadership call and then a club call. So my husband's, hi, Esteban. My husband's going to be in the other room. You might hear him screaming and yelling because he's going to be leading a leadership call in the other room. Wow. Oh, Ash, do you know this? I don't know if you know this. Do you know this? Do you know? Call Jonathan about that because that page is ready to go right now. Just FYI, because that's important. Okay, so no eating right now, guys. We got to train. Okay, so you guys ready? Don't you love social media? How literally we can be in each other's living room and be so personal. I don't know about you guys, but I remember when Mindspace. Do you remember Mindspace came out? Does anybody remember Mindspace? Put yes in the comment section if you remember Mindspace. Does anybody remember Mindspace? Put yes if you remember Mindspace. Yes, MySpace, not Mind, it's MySpace. Oh my gosh, that's so bad. So I remember being in Las Vegas and I was in my bedroom in my condo in Las Vegas and I opened up MySpace and somebody messaged me and I got so creeped out. Because we weren't used to that back then, right? We weren't used to being able to stream in people's living rooms, bathrooms. Some of you guys might be on the bathroom right now, right? Like some of you guys, I know this is kind of a gross thought, but some of you guys might be on the bathroom right now. But back in the time when MySpace came out, I was so creeped out when somebody messaged me because I literally felt like there was a creeper in my house. Anybody else get that feeling? Did anybody else get on MySpace back then? So wild. Okay, do me a favor, you guys. Take a moment if you're on Facebook and if you could share this on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, if you're watching on YouTube, hello, YouTubers. LinkedIn, we are now going live on LinkedIn, which is really special. We haven't gone live on LinkedIn ever until right now. So if you are on Facebook, help me get the message out a little bit and just go up there and just share it. And Sarah Stahl, say hi to Sarah. She's our community manager. She's awesome. Sarah, can you make sure that there's nothing pinned on my pages right now? So this is at the top. So the reason why I say that to y'all is what we want to do when you're going live is make sure that you've got nothing pinned to the top of your pages so that your live is present and pulling the algorithms and bringing people forward. If you've got other things pinned on the top, it's really hard for people to find this. Okay. Sound good? Yes. Okay. So who's been paying attention? Who knows what we're going to talk about today? Anybody know what we're going to talk about today? Because I'm going to show you how to sell a $1,700 dinner with you. And if you want to make that a $10,000 dinner, or if you want to make that a $900 dinner, if you want to make that a $700 dinner, you can change the pricings. I'll tell you why I gave this advice to some of our clients not too long ago, and I'll share with you what happened when we added a live experience to their programs, packages, and offerings. So truth be told, right now, so let me back up for a second. It's so obviously you guys have these desires to grow businesses, and that's super awesome. But it takes a long time. And I mean this with love and respect. I'm not trying to discourage anyone, but we're emotional. And when we're emotional, we don't feel like doing things. Like my jewelry lady messaged me about 2 months ago and said, Shanda, I'm going to take a break from my jewelry business. And she does like everything herself. She's packing, she's ordering, she's shipping, she's selling, she's marketing, she's doing Instagram. She's doing everything, right? How many of you guys are wearing a lot of hats? Put the word hat in the comment section. Right? How many of you guys are wearing a lot of hats? Put the word hat in the comment section, right? It's like she's wearing a ton of hats. So No wonder she feels like taking a break, right? She's like, I need to just stop and reset my adrenals so that I have the energy to keep going. So you can fall so out of love with what you're doing because you're wearing too many hats. So first and foremost, I get this message from her and I'm like, I love her jewelry. In fact, I'm wearing it right now. I love her jewelry. It's really nice, high end. It's not affordable, sorry, but it's really great jewelry and I love it because it's so unique. So I share that with you because it's sad when I hear she's going to put pause on it and then come back later, because now I don't know what to write this down. Your people need to be able to rely on you. Your people, listen, if you're in a marriage or relationship, you got to be able to rely on the person that you're doing life with. Right? If you've got a virtual assistant, you got to be able to rely on your virtual assistant. If you've got a spouse, you got a parent, your kids have to be able to rely on you. Well, your buyers, your clients, your patients, whatever it is that you call them, they need to be able to rely on you. And if I can break some poverty chains or some bad decision making today, I hope that I can snap it off you right now, because your business isn't about your emotions. It's not about your energy. It's about your responsibility of how you actually run your game, right? So when I hear people say things like, I got to take a break because I got to take care of myself, the first thing I think of is control freak, right? And I promise you I'll get to the live experiences and how to add this to your business and sell a $1,700 dinner. You could do it today, right? I'll show you exactly what you need to do around this. So, but first we need to put the ecosystem in place, because the start, stop. There's so, what's the richest place on the planet right now? What do you think the richest place on the planet is right now? It's the graveyard. It's the graveyard, because there's more dreams that died with people in a graveyard that never got actualized, never went to its full expression. There's people out there right now that think that they're doing great because they're on point and they're growing, but it's still all about them. Right? Don't get so fascinated about your spiritual growth or your financial growth. Get fascinated about who are you impacting. If you want to have sustainability, the number one thing I'm hearing right now online is, Shanda, show me how to be consistent. No kidding, because intuitively we know that the problem is consistency. Am I right? Am I right? Who's got a consistency challenge right now? Put me in the comment section, and don't be shy. Because when you share this, what it does is it unleashes other people from the lie that there's something wrong with them, right? So we are all broken. We all have issues. We all sometimes say the wrong thing. We all offend people sometimes, or maybe we don't use our voice, or whatever that looks like. We're all in the pursuit of healthiness and unhealthiness and making a lot of messy mistakes. Am I right? And so that being said, I am watching the comments, right? Like May 8th, I'm doing a whole challenge for 2 weeks with my friends and we're teaching seven-figure $1 million frameworks, right? I just asked one of my other friends to come on as well, because I said, can you teach $1 million framework around speaking? Can you teach $1 million framework around how to use artificial intelligence? And can a new person that's just starting their business use it? Like, this is the curriculum I'm creating starting on Monday, and it's gonna run for 2 weeks. It's called the Rise Up Now Challenge. My point in sharing that with you is I'm looking, as I'm building the content, I'm not just building the content like, yes, I know I want to build these this seven-figure framework, right? Because I think it's with love BS that you should have little financial goals, because it's super self-centered. Hear me when I say this, because I mean this with love. Think about that. If you cared so much about other people, future children, husbands and wives, family members that are going to get old, when you actually get responsible, you start to make more residual income, because you start to realize there's a reason bigger than my own selfish desires. Yet we get caught in the selfish desires because we start to get emotional, and that's when we start to make decisions about self-care. So nobody says that you can't have self-care and build incredible businesses. But the reason why I chose 7 figures starting on May 8th, and you guys, let me pop this up for you guys. So you guys have, I don't know if I can, here, I gotta pop this up. That for you guys keep asking me where the where the registration is for that. RiseUpNowChallenge.com. Okay. So, but the reason why I chose this for the RiseUpNowChallenge.com is because of freedom. Not just freedom for you. And the reason why I showed my clients how to sell $1,700 dinner is because of freedom for them, but also freedom for their clients. You might call your clients something different. It could be, you might have a network marketing company, therefore your clients are your downline, right? You might have a doctor's practice, or you're a nurse, then you call your clients your patients, right? You get it. So everybody, real estate, they call them their buyers, their clients, or their sellers. You guys see what I'm saying? So this is critical, because as you get vision for your people, you will sell a lot. But the challenge is people don't put 7-figure frameworks around things because they're thinking about themselves and what they need. You hear things like, I don't need a lot. That's a problem. That's a self-centered comment. I don't need a lot. Okay, great. Why are you stating that? So that you can justify why you're not getting responsible for the people in your life that are going to need your money. Because people are going to need your money. Whether it's a nonprofit, whether it's like orphanages here in Puerto Rico, like they're pulling on my heart, right? Like some of you guys, it's animals, right? It's like whatever it is, it's pulling on your heart. And to not have enough is actually a representation. And when I got this, by the way, everything shifted for me. It's when we don't have enough, it's a representation of our heart and our ability to give at a level that is so much bigger than our needs. So I want to share this with you right now. Right now, you can build a business that's awesome, right? However, your highest multiple on a business is actually selling a business. That's not what I do. It's not my sweet spot, but it's something that I believe all of you guys should be looking at, is how do you set up your businesses, whether they're small or big, to be able to sell it. And the reason why that's important is the multiple on, and some of you guys, how many of you guys don't feel like you're not ready? Like you're like, that just feels over my head, right? Type in the word head. Right? If it feels over your head to sell a business, type the word head. And as you're typing the word head in the comments section, remember this. I never felt ready to be a millionaire. I never felt ready to, I was just sharing with somebody actually earlier on today. I said, hey, I'm sorry that I haven't been so connected in the last, really year, because my company exploded so much that last year was a big learning experience for me. Like it was like, all of a sudden I had all these employees. I had, making a ton of money, losing a lot of money through systems and tech not being set up right. Just things that like deserved problems, as my friend James says. He's like, Shanda, those are deserved problems when accounting breaks down or customer service breaks down. Like I hope all those problems for you, right? Like I hope for all of those problems for you, because at the end of the day, it means that we're out on what my friend Michael Strasner says, the skinny branches. And we're saying, you know what? I want to see myself play at the biggest level possible, which means that you're blitz scaling. And when you're blitz scaling, things break. Some of you guys are afraid to let go of your vision, let go of your dreams, make that offer because of the fact that it's not all ready yet. And that's okay. You don't have to feel ready. It doesn't mean that you can't set up your company right now. So your accounting's in order, so you understand your P&Ls, and so that you understand how to set up your business so that it could sell. That's a future training coming on Shanda On Demand. It's not this one. But the reason why I am putting curriculum into Shanda On Demand the way I am, also into our Mentor Me Live program, is I am slowly indoctrinating you to be so effing free financially, which means I have to get you to think about certain things that will come together in your future that will allow you to sell your company if you want to. Like that's what I'm up to, right? So when I'm teaching you today on Shanda On Demand, about how do you add, so this is next week. So if you want this, go to riseupnowchallenge.com, register for that right now. And I'm not kidding you, text that URL to 5 of your friends, because you need to have people who are growing with you that are taking the trips to the south of France on the yachts with you. I'm not kidding you. No more broke ass friends. Like build all your friends up that you love, send them that URL, riseupnowchallenge.com, text them that URL today and be like, we going to be financially free, and we're going to do it together, because you're going to need their money someday, and they're going to need your money someday as you're going to the next level. You need to have friends that got resources. Okay. So I'm going to flip this now. So now here's why, with this understanding of ultimate freedom for you, which I don't talk about on every single Shanda On Demand, but it's how I'm setting up the content. It really makes a difference if you subscribe to our channels, you get the notifications turned on. If you don't know how to do that, just look right now on the page. There's an area where it says notifications on little dots and settings, and put the notifications on, because even if you don't hit every single Shanda On Demand, or I'm off in Ireland, which I'm going to be going to at the end of the month, and I go dark for a week or 9 days, it's going to compound where it's like all of a sudden it just comes together, right? So as long as you consume enough of them, it will start to come together. So I'm choosing live events right now, because if you've got a live event strategy in your business, you're putting yourself, you're putting yourself in a position where you have a higher multiple if you do want to sell it. So we have a zone event, right? And we just finished signing the contract for it. It's a 3-day event. It's going to be in Austin, Texas this year. Keep your eyes open for it. I'll start announcing it on Shanda On Demand as soon as I have the hotel links. I hope I have them this week. But we are going to be in Austin, Texas, August 28th, 29th, and 30th. And we're going to do a big 3-day event. I could sell that event. I could sell that event for multiple 7 figures, and I could probably sell it for somewhere in the neighborhood. I don't know for sure, but probably somewhere in the neighborhood. I don't think I get 8 figures for it yet, but I could probably really get 7 to 10 million where it's sitting right now. Right. And I share that with you because that was a little event that I had a vision. I was scared out of my mind. I'm going to teach you an easier way to do this. But I was scared out of my mind. I signed on the dotted line that I'd be responsible for $140,000 in hotel fees. My first 3-day event. I barely knew how to speak on a stage. I was so afraid, but I knew that my platform needed a live event. Anybody else there right now? Put me, right? Or put the word event. Put the word event. If you know that you need to either be doing events or you are doing events, put the word event in the comment section. Let me see you. And so I knew my platform needed an event, but I was scared. And I had to bank on, if I signed the hotel document and said, okay, I'll pay $140,000 for this event when the event's done, and I had to put down a deposit. That was scary to me. Some of you guys aren't paying your coaching fees right now. You're not paying your car payments. You're not paying, you got to stop that stuff, right? Because integrity it's the problem is we don't do what it takes to keep our commitments. It's not that the car payment's too much. It's not that your coaching fee is too much. It's not that your house payment's too much. It's actually a call for us to raise our standards, to be able to rise up to playing at that next level. So I thought to myself, when I led this event, I went, if I could just break even. I didn't even want to make money on my first event. I was like, if I could just break even, that would be a win, because I was so afraid of that $140,000 bill that I had with the hotel. That being said, I made an offer on that first event, and 7 people bought, and I was mortified. I just thought, I am so defeated. I don't want to go back into that event room. I don't want to finish this event. Anybody else feel this way ever in your business, where you're like, could something just come together? It felt like I risked. I had the courage. I went out there. I signed on the dotted line. I got people to the event. I did all the work. It took me 6 months of my life to have 7 buyers at, I think it was $7,500 at that time. And I felt defeated, and I had to coach myself to success. We have a whole Facebook group called Coach Yourself to Success for Entrepreneurs. And I had to coach myself to success. I know you've had moments like this with yourself. And I walked and I looked at myself in the mirror, and I had to give myself a pep talk. How many of you guys need a pep talk right now to get going in your business? I had to give myself a pep talk because nobody was going to save me on this. And I said, you know what, Shanda? If I don't break even on this event, I was like, you just need to go in there and be the best version of yourself for the people who are in the room. And whether they buy or they don't buy, and this has unhooked a lot of the people I've coached, is this comment. Don't look at people as dollar symbols. Don't look at them as your rent. Don't look at them as your financial freedom. Don't look at them as like your self-worth, like if you're good or not, if they buy. Don't look at, like, unhook from all of that. And you might want to write this down, because I've said this to many of my clients along the years, is literally write down a piece of paper, and you can say it out loud to people when you are making offers, and say, I'm not attached to you buying, but I am attached, if you're a doctor or nutrition, for you to be healthy. I'm not attached to you buying, but I am attached to your marriage working. I'm not attached to you buying or doing this product, program, or service, but I am attached to you getting close to God, right? Like, whatever it is for you, use your words. The scriptures say that your words are like a sword, and they cut through deception. And it's such a deception that you are supposed to live without, or live with lack, or money doesn't grow on trees, or everything in moderation. Like, there's so many curses being spoken on a daily basis by humans, because they're using everything in moderation. Money doesn't grow on trees. All these words have power. These phrases have power. We know this with ChatGPT and artificial intelligence. What you say to artificial intelligence will determine what it produces for you. Right. And so if you want, I'm into God, right? And God created the universe. So I don't pray to the universe, just like I don't pray to angels. I pray to God, who created all of that. Right. And the reason why I share that with you is because if you want the ultimate authority in your life, you have to ask the right questions. And you got to state the right statements. And so for you to go to the next level, and for me to go to the next level, I had to unhook from anyone buying from me. And I've seen this so many times with my clients, where just say those words and it like unhooks the person you're making offers for, so they can rest and not feel the pressure. But it also unhooks you, so that you can actually do your work and be focused on your client, your customer, your buyer's result, versus like your worth, your bank account, your financial freedom. Okay. So live events are critical. They raise the value of your business. They raise the value. So here's what I said to our clients. Our clients were in a situation where every time they did something, they're in the relationship world, and every time they did something, they had mainly the people who showed up to anything were their existing clients. So they had a customer acquisition problem. Who has a list problem? You do not have a list of buyers. Put list in the comment section, right? Who has a list problem? List means clients, buyers, prospects, leads, whatever, right? So who has a list problem, right? So they had a list problem. And they've been with me, by the way, for a while, and I've taught them all how to build lists. But they've ridden off their list building for so long that it's like they don't have new blood, new people, new people to serve, new prospects. They didn't have that because they've done so well on monetizing their list that now over the last few years, it's like, who shows up to everything they do? Their clients. So I was like, instead of complaining about this, so I want everybody to write down on a piece of paper, or even in the comments section, what do you hear yourself complaining about? Is this helpful, you guys? Yes or no? Is this helpful? Is this Shanda On Demand helpful? Yes or no? So ask yourself, what do you hear yourself complaining about? So what I heard them complaining about, this conversation, Shanda, every time we do anything out there, it's always our clients who show up, so they're not a buyable unit for our offer. So I've already coached them a million times on go get new people, right? They're fully able to do that. But for whatever reason, they're in the weeds. Who else can relate to this? They're in the weeds. And so they're not focusing on the money-making activities. They're focusing on the fulfillment. You got to ask yourself, do you want to be an owner? Or do you want to be an operator? Right? Like, you're an operator at first, but you've got to shift. If you want to grow your company, you got to shift and you got to move to owner, which means that there are hires in your future. I'll keep getting into this on Shanda On Demands. In fact, starting on May 8th in the Rise Up Now Challenge, I'm telling you, if you could focus with me for 2 weeks on that, go register for it. But if you can focus with me for 2 weeks on the Rise Up Now Challenge, I'm going to start on Monday. I will framework this whole thing out in chronological order, meaning that like step by step. And you could literally build a roadmap off what I start to teach on Monday. But if you miss classes starting on Monday, then you're going to find that there's going to, yes, it'll be valuable, but there'll be breaks, right? So I'm like, they're in the weeds dealing with their clients. They can't, it doesn't matter how much coaching I give them, which is all a leadership break. Right? So in between taking the coaching and not taking the coaching is leadership. When things start to fall apart and you find yourself stuck, you have a leadership break in that moment. You just have to know that, because if you know that, you can actually go, what do I need to up level my leadership to be able to move, in their case, to finding new people? They had the knowledge. See, everybody thinks they need to know the how. The problem is that when you have the how, you still don't do it. Am I right? Because that's leadership. That's why I'm constantly working on my character. Like I have no patience for people who judge me or judge you long term. Everybody judges here and there, but I have no patience for it, because I'm like, listen, who you were last year is hopefully not who you are today. And the different seasons of your story and your walk, they change as you gain in wisdom, right? So we need to not be judging each other. We need to be realizing that we are all working on our leadership and hopefully our walk with God. Right. And so instead of telling them, go do this, I was like, let's just pivot, because you're not going to pivot. I'm like, why don't we just deal with the problem? It's your clients that keep showing up, not new people. So what's the gap? You should be writing this down. What's the gap your clients are going to sell? Now, here's what I want you to hear by this, even if you're not facing this situation. If you do have buyers, okay, I'm calling buyers, patients, downline in network marketing, students, if you're a teacher, clients, whatever, right? If you have buyers, put the word buyers in the comment section. If you already have existing buyers, put the word buyers in the comment section. Okay, so your buyers are your highest check. Why? They already trust you, and you know them better than the new people. Like you guys, who are my buyers in here? If you're in a program of ours, Mentor Me Live, Hardcore Leadership, the club, Pocket Coaching membership, if you're in any of our memberships, put the word member in the comment section. Put the word member in the comment section, right? If you're any of our clients, put the word member in the client section or in the comment section. So my members of any of our product programs or services, they are the ones that I know the best. Right? I know them the best. I know where their gaps are. This is why I was able to take clients who were stuck and go, you know what? I'm just going to go to their low-hanging fruit, which is the people you love and the people who love you. If you poured more into those relationships, if you stop thinking about, oh, it's another offer, and you're like, hold on, what more could I do? Where's their gap? You could be writing this down right now. Where's their gap? For my clients who are in the love industry, their gap was their clients were not dating. They were getting in their own way. They were not dating. So they were having, the people who followed their coaching were literally getting married, like quickly. But the people who were not following their coaching, they were like a year later, and my clients were feeling bad because they were like, gosh, I feel so bad. But it's just they're not following the coaching, right? They're not staying consistent in dating. And I said, you know what? So that's their gap, is accountability. And I said, why don't you create an accountability factor program? And we'll call it the accountability factor. We'll charge $5,000 for it, $4,000 pay in full. So you get $1,000 off if you pay in full. And I said, so in order to sell that, why don't we bring your clients and any new clients to a live event experience? Because they're missing being in a room. You guys, COVID has made something very, very relevant to a lot of people. We all value human connection right now in history at a higher level than we ever have. Okay. This is why the most lucrative value proposition companies to buy in 2023, 2024 are the companies that have live event experiences. Okay. And if you have a live event built into your model, your company is more valuable. People will pay more money for it. You're building this company anyway. You might as well build it in a way that if you decided to go to a broker to sell it and create a massive cash injection in your life, by the way, there's $3 million companies that are selling for like $100 million. I just saw one just recently, over $100 million sale on a $3 million company, just over $3 million. Wild, right? So you don't know what you don't know, but faith is a very powerful thing. Because when you build something with an intention that if you need to sell it, you're set to win, then guess what? That opportunity eventually comes, and now you have a choice. Now you have a choice if you want to sell. So I said to them, take your clients and your non-clients to a dinner, a live experience dinner. Charge $1,700 for it. Why did I choose $1,700? Make it worth their while, and I knew they could sell at $1,700. I pulled the number out of my butt. There was no rhyme or rhythm to it. I know people will just go ahead and use that $1,700, but you don't need to. I have sold dinner with me at $1,700. You could do $2,000. You could do $900. It's one full day where you have dinner catered, or you have somebody come barbecue, and you either rent an Airbnb or something like that. Or if you have I don't like doing it at my house, so I like to rent an Airbnb. You need to cover the Airbnb costs. But when you bring people into a room and work with them, and what we did was we developed the content where before we went into the offer of the accountability factor, all we did was to bring to life the real value of being in a marriage. And we sold the vision of, instead of by this summer, and you guys who follow Shanda On Demand, you guys have Mentor Me Live, know exactly what runway selling is. Runway selling is a very compassionate way of helping people manage their own minds on making a decision to work with you. Runway means that we're all on a runway, and the runway will end. Like, for sure, we all have a day that we leave this planet, but also for sure, you have a day that you can't have children anymore. You have a day that if you push your marriage to the limit, that there could be divorce in your future. There's a runway that somebody feels that they're going to propose, like they're going to make the offer to marry and be together for the rest of your life. There is a runway for some of you guys on moving to a certain state to be able to get a tax break. There's a runway for everything. And so for our clients being in the love industry, I said, think about, be compassionate. The runway they're on is, they're either, if they don't get accountable right now, because this is the gap we saw in them, then they're going to spend the summer dating. And that sucks. I mean, it sucks. Everybody knows if they want to find their spouse or their forever partner, they don't want to spend another summer dating. They want to spend a summer creating memories with their forever person, right? And so I said, that's our runway. So instead of selling the product, instead of selling the dinner, right, what we did was we said, instead of, here's a dinner where we're going to come together for a whole day. We're going to have dinner together. And what we're going to do is we're going to do processes that have you fall in love with your husband, because they work with women, by the summer, so that you're creating memories with the person you're going to spend the rest of your life with, instead of dating for the whole summer. See, people ask me, Shanda, how do you come up with these moments of messaging? It's compassion. It's compassion. It's your clients, or your future clients, right? In this case, we brought in new people, and the majority of the people that came to the dinner were their clients. But the offer we made, whether or not they were a client or a non-client, solved a problem for everybody wanting to find their spouse. And that was the accountability factor. Now, as their coach, and this is where strategy comes together, and having a good coach can save you a lot of time in your life. It really can. Like, don't look at a coach or a mentor as a cost. Look at it as an insurance policy. They have a challenge of, they're so good that they do everything on their own. And I used this as an opportunity when I sold them this idea, because that I have to sell my clients on taking the coaching, right? This is why sales and leadership are so important. So I sold them on the idea, and I said, but here's the thing. The accountability factor needs a different coach that holds them accountable to dating your method. And I said, so you meet with your accountability coach. They go, well, we don't have one. This is where faith comes in. If you keep making decisions, this is a big moment, if you can hear me. If you keep making decisions on what you feel ready for, you will keep throttling God in your life. You'll keep throttling momentum. You'll keep throttling manifestation. And so don't throttle things because you don't feel ready, because it's not a prerequisite to feel ready to be successful. They don't or didn't have a coach to lead the accountability factor. They know their methods to help a woman get married, but my clients did not have a coach. And so I used it strategically as a way to create leverage in their business, hook up their clients so that they got better results with my clients, and unhook my clients from being stuck. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? So now they went and they found a coach, placed an ad, found a coach. There's many, many coaches, you guys, or many, many fulfillment people. When I was in real estate, very, very easy to find buyer's agents. There are when you get good at customer acquisition, okay, the whole game of success starts at the foundation of lead generation. And then it moves to multiplying yourself. And so for them, they meet an accountability coach every week, and it forces them to let go of control. But it also, I said, this is your next book. Your next book is how do you hold women accountable to date and find their husbands, write your methods in. Let's now move you, see how the doors open to the scaling. So your biggest visions, your mission that you want so bad to scale does not happen like this. It happens by opening up. And so as we open up, it changes the direction of the ship of their company. And so I hope that today's Shanda On Demand is opening some things up for you. The last thing I want to do is create more angst in you or intensity. What I want is a very driven human being in you with a very graceful heart to realize people will judge you. You'll judge yourself, unhook from it. And when you don't feel ready, that's the exact door to walk through. So add a live event or a live experience to your business. Don't be afraid of doing it if you've never done it before. I feel your pain. I never wanted to speak. I never wanted to do a live like this. I never wanted to throw events. And now we are an event-driven company. So all of that to be said, tomorrow, I will just grab my little fancy book here. Tomorrow, we are going to talk about how to create 14-day boosts financially in your business. Actually, perfect time for the Rise Up Now challenge starting on Monday. But I have two of my clients coming tomorrow. They're going to share how they got stuck differently than these guys, right? There's no problem you're having that cannot be solved. There just isn't. Right. But I had two of my clients that are they're partners in a fitness business, and they got stuck. They were trainers, before I met them. We helped take their training business online and scale their company. They're one of our clients that went from startup to 7 figures. But they got stuck, and they got stuck in the weeds again. And this is why you need a community. This is why you need coaching. It doesn't have to be our community. There's lots of great communities out there. But if you're interested in our community, it's Mentor Me Live, where we coach people all year long how to actually build these type of strategies. Tomorrow, my other clients got stuck in the weeds, and they stopped creating the cash flow that they needed. Their cash was super rich last year, and then it started to get tight this year. And so I had to unhook them and build their confidence in a really quick way. And the shorter cash targets you have, the quicker you can boost. So tomorrow's about some revenue boosts that are going to happen in your business with 2-week focus points that are very, very specific on creating cash. So they're going to come share what shifted in them, how they were able to generate $35,000 in cash like this. I told them if they didn't do it, I put accountability factor on it. Told them if they didn't do it, at first I told them you have to pay me $2,000, and then that felt like a conflict of interest. So I said, you'll have to donate $2,000 to a charity of my choice if you don't create the $35,000. Well, sure enough, they did. Now we're unleashing to a bigger game, and I'm looking for them to create a $300,000 month now. right? So that's what I said, a $300,000 a month now. And so I'm telling you, there's nothing like having a good coach in your corner that can take you to that next level. Do not grow at the speed in which you feel accomplished or capable of. I'll end on this. The scriptures say that God uses broken people. And so try not to judge yourself, try not to judge other people. Realize that there is a heaven backing up everything that you feel called to do. Don't feel guilty. Anything that's not bringing life, like energy and life to you, it is not of God. It's not supposed to happen. And so I just encourage you to pay attention to not necessarily your feelings, but the fruit or the results that are being created on a daily basis. Focus on the right things. Focus on the other people. You were born to impact other people. That's the door to freedom, is generosity. All right, you guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Talk to you soon. Bye.